Welcome to Book Buzz Reviews and Summaries. Welcome to adulthood. It's not exactly the glossy, Instagram-filtered life you imagined, is it? Somewhere between learning how to do your taxes, figuring out how insurance works, and debating whether pizza leftovers count as breakfast, you've probably realized something: no one gave you a manual. There are no cliff notes on how to master this stage of life, no cheat codes to guide you through the chaos of rent payments, career choices, and relationships. And that's exactly where Adulthood for Beginners, All the Life Secrets Nobody Bothered to Tell You by Andy Boyle comes in. This isn't a stuffy self-help book. This is the friend you wish you had, the one who pulls you aside at the party, smirks knowingly, and tells you how things really work. Whether it's managing your money, navigating the awkwardness of office politics, or just trying to survive the weekly grocery store run without forgetting the bread, again, Boyle covers the everyday challenges that every adult faces but rarely talks about. Adulthood can feel like being thrown into the deep end without swimming lessons, but Boyle's witty and down-to-earth writing helps you realize that you're not the only one dog paddling through life. With humor and practical advice, Adulthood for Beginners breaks down complex, often intimidating subjects into bite-sized pieces. Boyle tackles everything from how to properly clean your bathroom, spoiler, no, wiping things with a wet towel doesn't count, to the confusing world of retirement accounts and why you should care about them, even if they seem like something only future you needs to worry about. One of the best parts about this book is its relatability. Boyle doesn't pretend to have all the answers, and he's not trying to be your life coach. Instead, he's offering the wisdom of someone who's made his own share of mistakes, learned a few lessons the hard way, and is now generously passing those lessons along. You'll laugh, you'll nod in agreement, and occasionally, you'll find yourself saying, "Wait, why didn't anyone tell me this before?" But Adulthood for Beginners isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving. Boyle encourages you to embrace the chaos of adulthood with humor and patience, reminding you that it's okay to not have everything figured out. Adulthood isn't a checklist of accomplishments or a race to see who can adult the best. It's messy, unpredictable, and sometimes frustrating, but it's also filled with moments of growth, self-discovery, and, yes, fun. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by the pressures of adult life, whether that's juggling bills, career expectations, or simply figuring out how to meal prep without losing your sanity, this book is your guide. You'll walk away from it feeling a little more equipped to tackle the adulting challenges ahead and, more importantly, you'll learn to laugh at the absurdity of it all. In the end, Adulthood for Beginners isn't just a manual for surviving adulthood, it's a reminder that we're all figuring it out together, one awkward moment at a time. Introduction. Andy Boyle's Adulthood for Beginners, All the Life Secrets Nobody Bothered to Tell You is a humorous yet insightful guide to navigating the often bewildering and overwhelming world of adulthood. This book serves as a practical manual for young adults transitioning into the real world, packed with life lessons and practical advice that Boyle wishes someone had told him when he was starting out. Boyle, a journalist, comedian, and technologist, brings his signature wit and conversational tone to tackle subjects that range from managing personal finances and handling relationships to cooking for oneself and taking care of mental health. By mixing humor with sincerity, Boyle makes the book approachable, offering readers useful advice without being preachy or overly serious. His personal anecdotes add a relatable touch, reminding readers that no one has it all figured out and that learning is part of the journey. This book is not just for recent graduates, but also for anyone feeling a bit lost or overwhelmed by the expectations and realities of adult life. Boyle's approach is relatable, pragmatic, and refreshingly honest, and he encourages readers to embrace the uncertainty of adulthood with a sense of humor and resilience. Chapter 1: Adulthood is Weird. The book opens with Boyle's assertion that adulthood is a strange, often confusing experience, filled with responsibilities and challenges that can feel alien to those just entering this phase of life. He begins by acknowledging the anxiety that comes with adulthood, whether it's paying bills, finding a career, or maintaining relationships, and emphasizes that it's perfectly normal to feel overwhelmed. Boyle reassures readers that no one truly has it all together. The notion that adulthood is about having all the answers is a myth. Instead, it's about figuring things out as you go. He encourages readers to embrace imperfection and give themselves grace when things don't go according to plan. Through humorous anecdotes, Boyle reflects on his own early experiences of adulthood, from his awkward first job interviews to mishaps with paying bills. His central message in this chapter is that everyone is learning as they go, and the best way to approach adulthood is with patience, humor, and a willingness to adapt. Chapter 2: Work isn't your life, but you need to work. Boyle delves into one of the most daunting aspects of adulthood: work. He explains that while finding a job and building a career are crucial parts of adulthood, they should not consume your entire identity. Boyle stresses the importance of separating your sense of self-worth from your job title and salary, encouraging readers to find balance and avoid the trap of overworking. He also provides practical advice on how to navigate the modern workplace. From crafting a resume to handling difficult bosses, Boyle covers a range of topics relevant to both newcomers and seasoned professionals. His candid tips include advice on negotiating salaries, setting boundaries with coworkers, and finding a job that aligns with your passions without succumbing to burnout. The chapter highlights the importance of building a career that supports your life rather than dominates it. Boyle advocates for taking time off, prioritizing mental health, and recognizing that work is only one aspect of a fulfilling life. His humorous yet grounded tone makes the often intimidating subject of work feel manageable and less overwhelming. Chapter 3: Money is stupid, but you need to deal with it. Money management is a major theme in adulthood for beginners, and Boyle tackles it head-on in this chapter with both humor and practical wisdom. He starts by acknowledging the stress and anxiety that finances can cause, especially for those just starting out in their careers. Boyle's key message is that while money is important, it shouldn't be the source of constant fear or confusion. Boyle provides readers with straightforward advice on budgeting, saving, and managing debt. He explains the basics of financial literacy, including how to build credit, the importance of emergency savings, and strategies for paying off student loans and credit card debt. He emphasizes the importance of living within your means and avoiding the temptation to keep up with others' lifestyles, particularly in the age of social media. His tips on automating savings and setting realistic financial goals are practical and accessible, making it easier for readers to take control of their finances without feeling overwhelmed. Boyle also touches on the emotional aspect of money, reminding readers that financial stability takes time and that it's okay to make mistakes along the way. Chapter 4: Being an adult doesn't mean being boring. In this chapter, Boyle challenges the notion that adulthood is synonymous with dullness and responsibility. He encourages readers to continue pursuing their passions, hobbies, and interests, even as they take on more responsibilities in life. Boyle believes that adulthood should be about striking a balance between work and play, and that maintaining a sense of fun and adventure is crucial for overall happiness. He offers practical tips on how to incorporate hobbies and leisure activities into a busy adult life, emphasizing the importance of scheduling time for yourself. Boyle's message is clear: while adult responsibilities can be demanding, it's essential to make time for the things that bring joy and fulfillment. Whether it's traveling, learning a new skill, or simply spending time with friends, Boyle reminds readers that life is meant to be enjoyed. Boyle's humor shines through in this chapter, as he shares stories of his own attempts to keep life interesting, from impromptu road trips to trying new hobbies. He also touches on the importance of surrounding yourself with positive, like-minded people who support your growth and happiness. Chapter 5: Relationships are hard, but they're worth it. Boyle doesn't shy away from the complexities of relationships, both romantic and platonic. In this chapter, he offers candid advice on how to navigate the ups and downs of relationships in adulthood. He discusses the importance of communication, trust, and vulnerability, while also acknowledging that relationships require effort and compromise. One of the key takeaways from this chapter is Boyle's emphasis on self-awareness and emotional intelligence. He encourages readers to be honest with themselves about their needs and to approach relationships with empathy and understanding. Boyle also highlights the importance of setting boundaries and maintaining independence, reminding readers that a healthy relationship should enhance your life, not consume it. Boyle's discussion of friendships is equally insightful. He stresses the importance of nurturing friendships and surrounding yourself with people who support and uplift you. He also provides advice on how to deal with toxic relationships and how to recognize when it's time to let go of friendships that no longer serve you. Chapter 6, You're Going to Fail, and That's Okay. Failure is an inevitable part of adulthood, and in this chapter, Boyle addresses it head-on. He shares his own experiences with failure, from professional setbacks to personal disappointments, and emphasizes that failure is not something to be feared. Instead, it should be seen as an opportunity for growth and learning. Boyle encourages readers to embrace failure as a natural part of life and to use it as a stepping stone towards success. He provides practical advice on how to bounce back from failure, including how to reflect on what went wrong, learn from mistakes, and move forward with resilience. Boyle's message is clear: failure is not the end, but rather a valuable part of the journey. This chapter is filled with humor and personal anecdotes that make the topic of failure feel less intimidating. Boyle's candid approach helps readers understand that everyone fails at some point and that it's okay to stumble as long as you keep getting back up. Chapter 7, Take Care of Your Mental Health, Seriously. Boyle dedicates an entire chapter to mental health, a subject that is often overlooked in discussions about adulthood. He stresses the importance of prioritizing mental well-being and destigmatizing mental health struggles. Boyle shares his own experiences with anxiety and depression, offering readers reassurance that it's okay to seek help when needed. The chapter covers a range of topics related to mental health, including the benefits of therapy, mindfulness, and self-care. Boyle provides practical tips on how to manage stress, avoid burnout, and recognize the signs of mental health issues. He encourages readers to practice self-compassion and to be proactive about their mental health, whether it's through therapy, meditation, or simply taking time for themselves. Boyle's approach to mental health is both compassionate and relatable, and his personal stories help break down the stigma surrounding the subject. His message is clear: taking care of your mental health is just as important as taking care of your physical health, and it's okay to ask for help when you need it. Chapter 8, You're Not Alone, Even When It Feels Like You Are. Loneliness is a common experience in adulthood, particularly as people transition out of school and into the workforce. Boyle addresses this issue with empathy and offers reassurance that feeling alone is a normal part of the adult experience. He shares his own struggles with loneliness and isolation, reminding readers that they are not alone in feeling this way. Boyle provides practical advice on how to combat loneliness, including ways to build meaningful connections with others and the importance of reaching out for support. He encourages readers to be proactive in their social lives, whether it's joining a club, volunteering, or simply making time for friends. Boyle also emphasizes the importance of vulnerability and being open to new relationships. This chapter is a reminder that while adulthood can sometimes feel isolating, there are always ways to connect with others and build a support system. Boyle's humor and honesty make the subject of loneliness more approachable, and his advice is both practical and comforting. Chapter 9, Your Body is Weird, Take Care of It Anyway. In this chapter, Boyle takes a light-hearted approach to the subject of physical health, acknowledging that our bodies often don't behave the way we expect them to as we get older. From changes in metabolism to unexpected aches and pains, Boyle humorously reflects on the challenges of maintaining physical health in adulthood. Despite the humorous tone, Boyle's advice is practical and straightforward. He emphasizes the importance of regular exercise, eating a balanced diet, and getting enough sleep. Boyle also touches on the importance of preventative care, encouraging readers to stay on top of medical checkups and to listen to their bodies when something feels off. The chapter serves as a reminder that while taking care of your body may require effort and discipline, it's essential for long-term well-being. Boyle's humor makes the subject of physical health feel less daunting, and his practical tips help readers take small, manageable steps toward better health. Chapter 10, You're Going to Die, But You'll Be Okay. Boyle closes the book with a discussion on mortality, a subject that can feel uncomfortable but is an inevitable part of life. He approaches the topic with a mix of humor and sincerity, acknowledging the fear and anxiety that often accompany thoughts of death. Boyle's central message is that while death is a part of life, it's important not to let the fear of it overshadow the joy of living. He encourages readers to live fully, embrace the present moment, and focus on what truly matters in life. Boyle's reflections on death are surprisingly uplifting, as he reminds readers that life is short and that we should make the most of the time we have. His humor adds a light touch to an otherwise heavy topic, making it easier for readers to engage with the subject. Boyle's parting advice is to focus on living a life that is meaningful and fulfilling, rather than worrying about things that are out of our control. His message is one of acceptance and hope, and it serves as a fitting conclusion to the book. Conclusion: Navigating Adulthood with Confidence and Humor. As we reach the end of Adulthood for Beginners, all the life secrets nobody bothered to tell you, it's clear that Andy Boyle has delivered more than just a collection of life hacks. He's given us a light-hearted, yet deeply insightful guide to navigating the often bewildering landscape of adulthood. From financial advice to personal growth, to understanding relationships and careers, Boyle approaches these universal struggles with a sense of humor and practicality, reminding us that nobody has it all figured out, and that's okay. Adulthood can often feel like being thrown into a complex, unsolvable puzzle. You're handed responsibilities, bills, decisions, and expectations, with little instruction. But as Boyle illustrates throughout the book, the secret to mastering adulthood isn't about perfection. It's about embracing imperfection, learning from mistakes, and finding joy in the journey. One of the greatest takeaways from Adulthood for Beginners is the importance of self-compassion. Boyle encourages us to drop the unrealistic pressures we place on ourselves, whether it's having the perfect job, the ideal relationship, or a meticulously planned future. Adulthood, as Boyle tells us, is more about progress than perfection. It's about making choices, sometimes wrong ones, and learning to adapt and grow along the way. Boyle's wit and wisdom throughout the book remind us that adulthood doesn't have to be as daunting as it seems. His candid discussions about budgeting, networking, and mental health are practical tools to help us get through the day-to-day. But it's his emphasis on not taking ourselves too seriously that makes this book a true companion for life's challenges. Adulthood, for all its seriousness, can, and should, be met with a sense of humor. The book also invites us to redefine success. We often measure adulthood by milestones, buying a house, getting married, earning a certain salary, but Boyle shifts the focus. Success, he suggests, is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's deeply personal and constantly evolving. It can be found in the small victories, like managing your laundry pile or surviving a tough week at work. By redefining what success means, we can release the pressure to fit into societal molds and focus on what truly brings us fulfillment. In the end, Adulthood for Beginners is more than just a survival guide. It's a celebration of the messiness of growing up. Boyle reassures us that no one has adulthood figured out, so we can stop pretending we do, too. Instead of being overwhelmed by the complexities of life, we can take Boyle's advice to heart: be kind to yourself, laugh at your mistakes, and remember that no one's path is the same. So, as you continue navigating adulthood, armed with Boyle's advice, remember, you're not alone in this. The road ahead might be unpredictable, but with a little patience, a lot of humor, and some solid life hacks, you'll figure it out, step by step. Please read the book to learn more and consider subscribing to support the channel. Thank you.